I remember Anthony.
I remember Isaiah.
I remember John.
Sean.
Claire.
Abdul.
Katie.
Brooke.
Kelsey.
I remember a respect retreat from many years ago. It was in a small town, very condensed community. Everybody knew each other and everybody had known each other for a long time.
A couple years ago, I was writing a new talk, a new story for the respect retreat, and it was about being vulnerable. And for me, it was being one of the few Asian guys in my whole class, of about 650.
I very clearly remember pulling up to this particular retreat, and the most extreme part of the day was this senior leader named Sean.
Claire had a thing that I didn't understand at the time, but it was called Turner syndrome. And then there was a student named Jared, and Jared was one of the hardest kids I've ever seen. He had a shirt on that said, "I have problems." And I was like, oh really?
When we were starting the day or having fun, John was right up there with us. And I was like, oh, I love this kid. Like, what an amazing energy he had. But I did notice that John was by himself a lot.
Sean had to win, he had to be first, he had to be in front for everything.
And this was a class of kids who had not for many years gotten along.
And I'm in a room full of about 400 freshmen in Minnesota. Are they gonna connect with the story? Are they gonna like this story?
But we did our thing, we did our retreat, and slowly you could see the walls start to break down and them start to engage each other in a little different way.
So one student was just standing in the back, and he just starts walking towards me.
Katie was the power broker in this room.
We were bracing ourselves for what Sean was going to say.
But at the end of the day, he went out to the middle.
And she picked up the microphone and she turned to her class and said,
I'm different than most people on the outside. I have a thing called Turner syndrome, which means I'm missing one of my X chromosomes.
The area of respect that I need to work on is respecting others more. I realized today that I don't see or hear anyone else but me.
My name is John, and my act of courage is to stand up for myself because I hear what you all say about me.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and my act of courage is to be myself and to quit trying to impress you all so much. You know, I know you guys egg me on to make some really dumb choices and you push me around, and I hear the names that you call me, and I know you say you're just kidding, but honestly, you have no idea how much they impact me. You have no idea how much courage it takes for me just to get up and come to school every day.
we haven't been like this with each other since we were in first grade. And I really miss those days when we were in first grade.
Inside, I'm no different than the rest of you. I just want to let you know that I will be a great friend to any of you if you need a friend.
I knew who I was looking at. I was looking at myself, and I just look at Isaiah and I say, that story I just told, that's your story, isn't it? A couple of tears fell out of his eyes. He just nods.
And it was like everyone sighed a breath of relief.
Best part was how his classmates responded.
Old friends of his got up and they apologized to him for being a part of what was making his life so miserable at school.
I look over and I see Jared walking up to the microphone. And he picked up the microphone and he turned to Claire and he said, "Claire, I want to apologize. I have picked on you since grade school. And I want to let you know that it stops today."
John, if you ever need anybody to sit with at lunch, you can sit with me.
Jared was a different kid. And I don't know if it was the love that he felt or if he felt like people actually cared about him that day, but he was transformed.
And that's often all we need, is just an opportunity and maybe somebody to give us permission to say it out loud.
And I knew there were other Isaiahs out there that needed to hear my story.
And by the end of the day, there was that big smile on Anthony's face again, but we knew at that point that it was a real deal. It was a real smile. He felt heard, he felt seen. And I'll never forget him. It was an amazing day. I'll never forget Anthony.